another episode of The Chaotic Minds. I am your host, Devontae Ewing, aka DJ Thunderbase, and yes, again, I am once again a disembodied voice today. And this is going to be the new setup that we will be doing. And I have joining with me today
the same people that have been in the last couple of episodes.
Hello, guys, girls, and squirrels. I'm Henry Montney, also known as Mayhem the Heart's Mace.
And I'm Dark Trooper, coming from your undisclosed location, aka my couch.
And just because we've had some strange weather circumstances going on recently, how about we give our fans a little weather forecast again? So here in the central Michigan area, up in the Lansing area, we are going to be having rain and more rain all the way into tomorrow. And we shouldn't see the end of rain until about between 1 to 4 p.m. tomorrow evening.
Ish.
Around there. That's the reason I made them a wide range. But we are supposed to be seeing some higher temperatures coming up into the next week, with temperatures getting up into the 90s, highest being Monday at 96.
So hot you cook an egg on your face.
Almost. Put it on the concrete, maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same in here. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be rainy, humid. It's going to suck. It's going to be hot, humid, and gross.
And it's going to help with that storm.
What episode number are we on for tonight, by the way?
15? 14?
15 or 14? It says episode 14.
14.
Sorry, I just checked that and I just noticed it. If it needs to be edited, we'll correct it later. All right. So back to what we were talking about with the weather.
I was just saying, oh my gosh, that storm today.
Oh yeah. It hit heavy, hard.
He came this close to getting his car flooded.
Oh yeah. They told me just in time the big storm was coming. I could feel it. And I was like, man, the one day at work, I decided to crack my windows just a little bit. And I'm like hobbling my legs down there as fast as I can and then actually get to a little sprint going, go, and doing like a speed walk and finally roll my windows up in time. Right when I'm getting back to the door, just boom, a wall of rain. And then same thing when I came home. Right when I came home, boom. And it's been on and off for the past couple hours. Heavy as it can be. To the point you can't see. All right, so what else we talking about for the Thunderbase Studio?
Let's see, one more.
Next is our relationship status.
All right, everybody, remember, always communicate with your significant other and or friends. You don't want to just pop up willy-nilly or at random. Sometimes they may not be home. Had that happen many times in my life when you make plans with some other friends, you go to chill, you're playing a video game or doing something else, and you get a call. Hey, I'm at your house. Where are you? Could have told me, and I would have told you where I was. So, always remember to communicate, people. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a funny scenario. It could be strange. It could be dangerous. It could be safety. It could help you out. Another thing as well, when you're going into a conversation with somebody, always be honest when you're saying you want to be with them and only with them. I know I've seen it many times before as on the internet. People say they want to be with somebody, they agree to it, and then later on they lie. All for money or other purposes or riches or for a boat somewhere else or for a yacht for a couple weeks or a night. Would you really give up your long, happy future that you could have had for a couple weeks of entertainment that you could have had when you got a little older?
Some do.
Many people make these mistakes. Sadly, more of the young ladies do than the guys because that's mainly the target audience. The guys with lots of money that just want to have fun do. I'll offer them fun. I'll go on it for a long time. I had a few friends who were like that, and two ladies that would go off for weeks at a time with guys just because they had a boat and money. But now they're in their mid to late 40s and they're looking for love.
Oh, so lonely.
And their video feeds are all filled with just the cats.
Hey, don't knock cats. Cats are awesome.
No, cats are cool, but when you have 7 or 8
dozen
cats,
7 or 8 dozen,
I'd rather have a child. I love having kids. I love having a family. It's sparkle in your eye. Now, does anybody have any kind of relationship things? We can pull up some videos as well. I sent some to the Thunderbase studios to look up certain channels. He can pull up some videos and check them out if he needs to, and look them on his phone if he needs to first before he shifts them over to his main cameras. If not, we can have conversations about some relationships. So is there any questions you guys have ever had about a relationship or a scenario or something you've thought about when it comes to a relationship, such as you're maybe on a date with somebody and something embarrassing happens? What would you respond with? Something like that. Anything you can think of? If not, I can go off.
Likes, human centipedes.
Wait, what?
There's a song about a guy who goes on a date and a woman starts talking about human centipedes.
I've seen the movies. Not a big fan. When I first was told about the first movie, my friend didn't tell me the name. He just said, we're going to have a horror movie night. I was like, okay, cool. Him, me, and several other friends all sat down, and a couple girls. First 10, 20 minutes go of the movie, we're like, oh, cool. It's maybe one of those kind of horror movies. The girls are going to run around half naked and scream until they die. No. No, that is not what happened. Mm-hmm. Something worse. They would have rather probably have gotten murdered and died faster than just what happened in the movie. And then part 2 was they just went nuts. They made shit up. Because technically the first one supposedly was a actual story that might have happened in said other country. We're not going to say what country just in case of dangerous actions. You can just watch a movie and it'll tell you where it took place. So, hey.
So from what I'm seeing recently on one of the pages you sent me is that people are wondering, mainly the women are wondering, why are guys staying single?
Gee, I wonder why.
I'll tell you. They're mostly fed up with how girls have played games with them, used them. Oh, take me on brunch, take me on dinner, take me out to here, buy me this, buy me that. Oh, you want a relationship?
How about this one? They call you for a date, and then when you're halfway there, they call you and say, "Oh yeah, things have changed. You can go home."
Oh, I've had that happen. A long time ago, I had a guy, and here's the thing: she didn't know the other guy was my homeboy, and that we had a rule. It's called bros before hoes. Unless you were with her before you got with your bro.
Bros?
He wasn't numero uno. My wife is obviously number one, but it's a wife. That's different. But for that, she was going to cheat on me with this dude. And he hit me up and saying, hey, man, she's doing this. All right, bet. Go. He's like, what do you mean? Go for it. I want to see if she actually is going to do it. And I'm going to show up anyways. And you and me are going to high five. This can go two ways. Either we all have fun, which would be awkward, but I'd rather it just be an ending. So I sure as hell walked in because he purposely left the door unlocked for me. And they're in a movie, or they're watching a movie together at her house. And wow, I walked right in, and he's just like, I couldn't even stop her from pulling my pants down, and I am sorry. And I'm just like, I don't care. I just wanted to catch her in the act. Thank you. And she's like, well, you still gonna buy me that for my birthday, right? And I was like, yeah, next week. Yeah,
No.
yeah, no. But what I actually said was yes.
Vacation, right? No.
No, what I did was I still said yes. I still do it because I kept my promise, which I rolled my eyes and walked away. And then she called me later on. I was like, no, I didn't get you nothing. I got my new girlfriend something, and she lost her mind. What do you mean, new girlfriend? It's only been a week. Well,
you really ain't that special, love.
No, as the guy on the internet, Levi Nichols says, if he's good enough for you, he's good enough for a few. And that's a good reference in that kind of way, because I was actually one of those guys in that manner. I wasn't not trying to be cocky or put myself up there in a pedestal. I'm not no 10. Even when I spruce myself up to max, I say my max will be a 9. And that's nice tux, nice suit when I'm all pinned up, hair is all good and clean shaven, and all pumped. But I'd say I'm a solid 6.5 to probably a low 8. Just all depends on the mood. Or the 5 o'clock shadow. Depends on the ladies, though. Because it all depends on who likes you. I was in modeling. I did fighting. I was on TV. I always was the head face for a lot of reasons. And the same thing for the cards and promotions. But when it comes to relationships, otherwise, you want to know the truth. Communicate, tell the truth. Don't be playing games. Oh, guys are single because they choose to be half the time because they don't play games anymore. They're tired of it. They've been told that, oh, don't approach you, don't this, and this. Guys want to be approached first now. And then when a girl comes up and they know a camera or see a camera or know they're trying to do it for TikTok, they're like, nope, I'm not dealing with you. I'm not bothering with you. Or if it's too good to be true. You have this girl that looks like a 10, all spruced up and everything, sits right next to you just out of nowhere. And you're like, you joking? Do I know you? And then you ask them what the requirements are of dating them either. And then you pull up a statistics meter, which a lot of these guys have, that show it's like a 0.1, 0.75% chance, not even a 1% of these guys that exist on, let alone this country, let alone this world, that they're looking for. This guy is made up that they believe in. They're thinking of like a look of Fabio with the riches of like Elon Musk or somebody else, and then like a good charismatic standpoint of talking, and then maybe the abs of Brad Pitt. Like they're thinking and looking
for
for
Rock,
right? Yeah, or the Rock in
some
kind of way,
or whatever,
with a freaking cucumber downstairs. Like they all expect and think this, and thinking the guy has to be at least 6 foot to 6'6".
6'6".
Yeah,
6 foot, 6 figures, 6 point abs.
Yeah, I have 8-pack. That's even better. Takes more time. But yeah, relationships, man. You got to be mindful. You got to be wary, especially at the very beginning, and know if they're loyal or faithful or not. Usually, I played tests or games, find out the truth. I know it was messed up, but it learned. My wife, I told her exactly what they were, and she just was like, "Huh, I understand why you did it. It's like it doesn't bug me." And she passed every single one. She was the only person. Everybody else I ever dated always failed every single one. Married her for many reasons, and it wasn't just that. It's communication, happiness, the mind clicking. You'll know if you're with the right person, and that's the point. You don't just get married to get divorced, get married again, and be like, "Oh, it's like a game. I got married 6 times, I got divorced 7. Wait, how the hell did that happen?"
She wanted the wedding. She didn't care about the marriage.
A lot of them do that, and the bigger the wedding, usually they say the faster the divorce. Me and my wife had a small little wedding, and it was with the group, the crew, the people that we're close to, and some of our family. And we did it at a Comic-Con in Detroit at the river.
Youmacon?
Yep, Youmacon. And it was beautiful. It was a Youmacon wedding. We had I think maybe 16 to 20 people at max all around, and we had them hold up like knights We walked through. We did the ceremony. We had our friend that as a legal pasture. We already did the paperwork proper prior, so everything was already ready. Then we just did the paperwork for the signing for the actual wedding. Did it all there. People were all taking pictures. It was cute. It was romantic. But the thing is, I've also promised my wife and told her we're going to have the wedding you want one day, which was just it's something simple as well. Be on the beach and just have a classic Jewish wedding on the beach. And then I just stomp the wine glass. Just got to put a wood board under it and a cloth over it so it doesn't fly off and launch somewhere or just get stuck in the sand. Knowing my luck, but I like to wear boots, so I think I'll be okay. They were like, why is the groom wearing boots? Reasons. But yeah, that's called a renewing of vows. That's another good thing to do. Showing your love and care doesn't always have to be expensive. It's more about the thought. Little things matter in their own way. It doesn't always have to be pricey. Because a girl, they shouldn't be asking, well, how much did this cost? No. It should have been something small and generic. Like, what's your flowers? What's your favorite color? Who are your friends that you like to hang out with? What were your favorite songs? What's your favorite foods, prices? Okay, cool. You just made a list. Boom. And now randomly she shows up. No one expects it. Surprise. Get her all excited saying, what's your favorite background if you ever imagined it like some kind of wedding, not just something expensive. Just what would you imagine it look like? Or the sunset or a nice trees behind it or cherry blossom trees. Do you want it to be like this? Okay, cool. We're going to take a thing to Japan. A nice little, place. And boom, we get a new little married, renewing of vows there. There's so many different things you could do that are still within a price range and cheap and nice and cute and romantic. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands or thousands of dollars. All right, let's go into it, guys. Timing. Safety tips. Fire bad.
Lightning.
Things on fire.
Lightning even worse.
Yeah, lightning can be scary. They tell you not to play in pools while it's lightning outside for a reason. Don't take showers while it's lightning and storming outside for a reason.
Really? I've never known that.
Yep. If the house gets struck and while you're taking a shower, the electricity will transfer through the water, fry you in the shower.
Water, one of the biggest conductors.
Also, don't play golf while it's lightning out.
Yeah, do not.
Oh, yeah. Turn yourself into a lightning rod. Why don't you?
You know how many comedy jokes they show about that? It's because it's real. Some of those comedic things that you'd watch.
Go out there, put like fulgurites in some sand and on the beach, and then let the lightning strike that, and
people make a lot of money off that. That stuff's great. You do that and you walk through right before a storm and you stick these like 9-foot to 14-foot poles into the ground and they beat them with a mallet, like a rubber mallet and everything. And they keep like rubber gloves on, obviously, just in case it gets struck while you're.
Yep.
Even though it'll still get melted instantly, but hey, still better than. You knock it in and then you sit back far enough away and you watch the lightning strike the living hell out of them. Because there's a high.
Then you go up later and collect the glass.
Once the storm's done, after it's cooled down, you got to wait for it to be cool because it will be hot for a little bit too.
Yep.
Not for like for a couple hours or more.
Say take it, come back the next day.
Yep, and then you come back, you withdraw the pikes, and then you dig for the sand. You pull these things out, and then people sell them. Some of them in connection if they're connected, or sell them in pieces. And they also, because the unique way of the sand melting and are turning into a glass, it's like a beautiful art. You see the lightning living in the glass in a way.
And in some faiths, fulgurites can be used to dampen electricity.
Yep. A lot of houses back in the day used to have dampening lightning rods and stuff for a reason, especially tall ones. Any safety tips you guys want to talk about besides the basics?
Be careful of scam calls. Know your region. Like if you know your bills, like if you get called by a company that says, "Oh, by the way, we're with so and so company," and you're with a different company, then that's a scam.
Yes. Also, there is companies that do that too, which are a scam. They'll send people they think are interns or they're new to a company that seems legit, that just maybe within a year or two bankrupt, became real in a fake way. They come to your door and say, hey, by the way, your DTE bill is this. I would like it so we can do this for you if you sign up and you give us your bank account number and this, and this. And sadly, my ex gave a bunch of information up without telling me. And this happened to me many years ago. And I lost a lot of money paying for a fake electricity bill, which they would get our electricity bill, double the bill, send it to us. And say, oh, you guys are using extreme usage. What's going on? And there was a point where our power was out for like 2 weeks during the summer. And they try to say that we used a lot of power during the time. I'm like, how? We had no power. And that's when I started catching once they showed up, and then we canceled with them and shifted back to DTE. Always call and be smart about your local providers. Know if they're legit. Back to you guys. Anything else? I can think of another thing, a scamming thing, if you want. Frequently calls or texts, even Facebook recently. There are fake profiles of guys, girls, and squirrels that will message you, too good to be true, or anything else, and try to hit on you. You'll check their profile, always check their profile. You'll see 1 or 2 pictures, maybe. And they're all within the same date or same day or within the same week, and that's it. And there's a bunch of messages and everything else, and then you'll notice that they change it so that you can't see comments. They'll message you and ask for information or money or the assistance to start asking you personal stuff, acting like it's a conversation, just to get out of you and steal things from you. My first responses are usually rude, disrespectful, and calling them a scammer right off rip, or just saying, hey, scammer, how long have you been doing this? Instantly blocked, or they're gone, and I already have them reported. So be mindful of those on any of your social medias. They are popping up like crazy. These scammers are getting desperate because their bank accounts are being shut down by our hackers. We are sick and tired of them hacking. Yes.
Don't trust every automated phone call.
Never.
Because they have recordings that they will play just at the start. They're actually on that line listening. They're just playing a recording for you.
There is literally a sound. If you've ever played Sonic the Hedgehog, you hear a boom, like a boom kind of noise. You hear it at least once or twice when you're playing Sonic. That noise is also when someone's listening in. Scammers, right when they call, usually when they call me too, I hear it right before even the automated system says something. They're listening. They know when it's me now. And I change my voice. When I change my voice, they pick up. But when I'm talking like this, no. And they're like, oh shit, it's him. And I literally can't call back. And I have all the special numbers, know all the little dial tones, everything else to get to them. Every one of them is locked from my phone numbers now. And I have several of them I use. But I can always forward them to everybody else so they can have hundreds of people calling at once. And it shuts them down. But Thunderbase Studio, back to you.
It's birthday time. Who's ready to celebrate some celebrity birthdays?
I got one already. Anne Frank.
We are
on the 12th.
We're on the 12th.
We finished with 11th last week.
Okay, yep. Anne Frank. Tell it.
If you haven't read it in school, it was a book about a book called The Diary of Anne Frank. She was a Jewish girl who was hiding from the Nazis during World War II in an attic, and it's explaining her everyday life while before she got caught and killed.
We should have had the Jew talk about this, but no, there's movies about that actually too that show close but not exact, which is actually worse in reality. Sadly, her herself died in the concentration camp right before they were getting released in safety from the U.S. and the UN. But it was too late for her. She was dying of malnutrition and starvation, and her body just couldn't recoup. I think it was her father and somebody else survived though, like 2 people of her family. Everybody else died. And it was a horrific thing. They tried to they had to stay quiet for a long time. One noise, like that house got raided almost daily. Like every day they checked that house. They thought that someone lived there. And then one day when someone was sick and coughed, and that's all it took, they found the door. Finally, the hidden area, and a nightmare occurred after. But yeah, go back to it.
Another one, former U.S. President George H.W. Bush from 1924 to 2018.
Here's one. Dave Franco, 40 years old, movie actor. Wow, he's 40. Does not look it. He looks like at least like 32.
Oh, here's another one. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry, the wrestler.
Yes, the wrestler, not me, guys. I'm the other wrestler.
The wrestler.
I'm strong too, but I believe Mark Henry is way stronger than me because he can still lift a Mini Cooper or a bug over his head. Not like an insect, a bug such as the BMW bug.
He is 54 today.
He is an awesome dude. Also, he's a very comedic guy, actually. All right, one more for this. Who do you guys want to go with, or I'll get one?
You can pick it.
All right, here we go. Chris Young, 40, a country singer.
I'll get the next one.
All right, we're on June 13th.
Chris Evans,
I'm
44, Captain America himself. And lesser known as Johnny Storm, but we don't talk about that one.
Well, he was a pretty decent Johnny
to the
Storm.
Olsen twins.
The others?
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Oh, you're right. And man, I will let you know, I had the biggest crush on them for the longest time.
I think everyone did.
Henry, I think you should do the next one, the Tim Allen.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. Is Tim Allen, 72. Holy crap, he's 72. TV actor / voice actor.
He does not look 72.
Well, he takes care of himself. He works out. He drinks the right things. He doesn't just fast food it up all the time. He's a good man. He lived a good life. He's funny.
Oh, yes. Kat Dennings as well.
Oh, I was about to say her. Now that's a girl I still have a crush on. So I even told my wife, I was like, honey,
she's 39 today.
Her, big crush on her. And my wife's like, I can see why.
Or how about Steve-O? How about Steve-O, 51?
Oh my gosh, Steve-O. I love Steve-O. He's funny.
And DJ Snake.
Okay, and let's do one more before we go to the 14th. I will take the first 14th. We have Disha Patti for 33 for movie actress for the 13th. But now we're going to go into the 14th. I'm going to say this one right off rip because I'll do it the right way. Salute to you, Mr. President. Donald J. Trump, 79. He is our second-time president. I know Dark Trooper over here is like hogwash, but for me, hey, happy birthday, buddy. Hey, he's still an American president. It's the same thing with the whole all the rest. No matter which direction we go, they have to guide us somehow, or at least this one, see, he's finally listening for his second term much more than he was his first term.
Just listening to the wrong people.
Oh yes, here's another
That
good
part
one.
we'll get into, definitely, I believe, in some ways. Yeah, definitely. Go into it, DJ Finnerbase.
Boy George, 64, pop singer.
Got another one right here. Ryan McCartan, 32, movie actor. You got any Dark Trooper?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Oh, you already said Boy George. Oh wow, I haven't
Yeah.
seen Boy George in anything in
This-
years.
Yep, Mr. Karma Chameleon himself.
Karma.
This one's gonna be funny and dark at the same time. Chev Gravana, 1928, 1967, activist. We all know that guy. There was a lot of t-shirts about him.
Okay,
Which one are you doing?
I will do the next one. I'll start with the first one. Next one.
All right. Gonna go with Molly Parker, 53, movie actress. Let's do one more for this one before we go to the next. Oh, that's the end. It looks like. R.J. Barrett, 25.
I did not see
player.
this. Fujikaze, happy birthday, 28-year-old pop singer.
Oh, I just seen that right when you said that. All right, June 15th, Dark Trooper.
Neil Patrick Harris. He's 52 years old.
He is now the new Top Gun, isn't he?
No, he was
The wrong guy.
He was in How I Met Your Mother. He was Barney.
Mm-hmm.
He's an
And he is a massive Broadway star.
Oh yeah. He's in also Harold and Kumar.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Oh,
Like,
how about this
all of
one? Courtney Cox.
Uh-huh.
She's 61 years old. She played Monica Giller in Friends.
Here's one I got that I grew up with. Ice Cube, 56.
I was just about to say that one.
Yeah. Rapper and movie TV actor and movie actor. I don't care what they say. He's not just a rapper. I've seen him in a lot of movies, and one of my favorites was Ghost from Mars. I like the concept of it. The movie itself was all right, but the concept was great. Just it should have carried on. That should have been a series instead of a movie, or at least carried on to a part 2. But next.
How about Jing
Will
Jinping?
Smith's daughters, Northwest, or wait, Kanye West's daughter, Northwest.
How about Xi Jinping, 72 years old, leader of the Communist Party, the current leader of China?
Winnie the
Xi
Pooh.
Jinping.
Winnie the Pooh. Hey, Xi Jinping, you look like Winnie the Pooh.
Bailey, wrestler, turning 36 today.
Sorry, I had to say it.
The 15th.
You got Geeko, 28, rapper. Man, let's do one more before we go to the next one. Here we go. Cooper Kupp, 32, football player. Now, what are we on? The 16th or?
Yes.
All right, go on the 16th. I got one right here. Tupac Shakur, 1971 to 1996. Some people say he's still alive. Other people say he's not. I liked his music because he was a real poet, and he know it. Got another one right here. Isaac Parsley, 23, TV actor.
How about this? Bill Cobbs. He was included in Night of the Museum, The Soprano.
Thunderbase, you had one too?
Valerie Mahaffey, 1953 to 2025. She's recent.
Oh, wow. I got one for you.
She is a TV actress.
I got one for you.
Desperate
Justin.
Housewives.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. Justin Jefferson, 26, football player. You got one, Dark Trooper?
No.
I got one right here.
Ooh, here's one.
Okay.
Another EDM DJ, Nash, turned 32 today.
Did we already do Bill Cobbs?
Yes.
Oh, here's one for you, Henry.
Yep, I see him. Ultimate Warrior, 1956 to 2014. This guy was one of my first inspirations of pro wrestling. Him, Undertaker, and Hogan. Those are my three beginning faves. And Ultimate Warrior took the biggest on me. I actually did armbands I made myself and everything. Used to flex and hulk up all the time as a little kid and paint my face. Even when I became a pro wrestler, I used to paint my face and do the Ultimate Warrior stuff occasionally, and with the tag team, it was fun.
Woo.
All right, we're gonna go to the next day, the 17th.
One more for that.
All right,
day.
go for it.
Happy birthday, Trump's little girl. Chloe Trump turned 11.
Oh, hopefully she becomes the next
granddaughter.
What?
Isn't it his granddaughter?
I think. Let's look. Where is that at? Near the bottom?
Yep. 40.
Oh, she's 40. Never mind.
No, she's 11. She's number 40 on the list. No? She's the youngest of the siblings.
Yep, she is the youngest kid of them. Born in 2014. Okay, yep. So, yeah, happy birthday, little one.
Wish you had a better father.
Well, he's decent in his own way. Everybody hates him for different reasons. All right, June 19th.
Thomas Henry Church.
Wait, weren't we on 17th now? We just did 16th.
Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. It skipped on me.
We start that off with Kendrick Lamar. Right, 38.
There you go.
Rapper.
Oh, I thought we were done with the 16th. No.
All right,
Yeah,
we're
we're
on
on 17th
17th
now.
Yeah, Thomas Henry Church.
Okay, yep. All right, I got a KJ Appa, 28, TV actor.
What was he in?
Let me look. It's in
Rivendell.
Yep, Riverdale. Shortland Streets. I Hate You Give. Jeremy Camp, and I Still Believe.
Let's see, 2 stars.
Here's one everyone probably knows. Venus Williams, tennis player, turning 45.
Who is this?
What about Maria? Oh my God! Wow, Maria Agaropoulos, TV actress. Wow, I can't say that last name. She's in The 100. I Love You Beth.
Avgeropoulos. Maria Avgeropoulos.
Thank you. Cooper and Hunt to Kill, and Supernatural.
Oh, here's one. Barry Manilow, 82, pop singer. He does not look it.
How about Jodie Whittaker? She was the 13th Doctor.
She was the gravestone for them in that way. Sadly, nothing against it. They shouldn't have threw the woke politics stuff in there like that. If they did subtle hints, it's one thing, but that was some disrespect. I've been a Doctor Who fan for a long time. And yeah, no, you just literally redid the whole damn story. Back to it. Jordan Henderson, soccer player, 35. Going on to the next one. We're on June 18th now.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Got Triple Red, 26, rapper.
Ooh, Paul McCartney, 83, rock singer.
Richard Madden, 39, movie actor.
Yeah, I also got Blake Shelton, 49, country singer. Oh, damn, here's one that's sad. Takeoff, 1994 to 2022. 2022. It's a rapper.
He'd be the same age as I am.
Yup. He had got Dunskied. Hip hop. peak. He got big, and then he died the next year. He was in Texas. I'm guessing he died like someone shot him or something. All right, back to it.
That's it. Until next
No.
week. Happy birthday. Sorry we mispronounced your names.
No,
Oh, yeah.
wait. No.
They still have people
Here we
that they have a birthday.
Here we go. Russian Duchess, Anastasia Nikoleva.
I love that name, Anastasia.
Yeah, that sounds fast.
From 1901 to 1918.
Maybe if I have another daughter, I'll talk to my wife about Anastasia being another name. We were thinking Ophelia, but Anastasia would be great too.
And then now we're on to the, and so now we're on to our next segment. We wish every one of you guys a happy birthday, and we are looking forward to the next round of birthdays next week. But now,
Good evening, my true believers.
I believe.
Tonight we're going to talk about another local myth called The Tale of Little Mary of Jackson, which is a very, very tragic tale. They're a little disturbing too. Her name was Mary McNaughton. She was 7 years old when her parents thought that she had died. She was born. How do they think? The doctors and the mayor, who was a doctor and mayor, that was her father. Blah 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 blah. He married.
So while he said blah blah blah, we were reading through these page texts and dancing.
And her father and her mother thought that she would died. I don't know. It doesn't say how she died.
I think she fell and hit her head or something, and it probably put her in some kind of small coma that like light breath.
Oh no, she had typhoid fever.
Oh yeah, that's just yeah. You go into like a deep sleep, damn near.
And they thought that she was dead, and so her parents buried her in a proper way. One night, a couple days later, her mom wakes up screaming. It's like, no, I just buried my child alive. And so they rushed to the cemetery, exhumed the body, and they found nail marks on the inside of the coffin. And she did.
Yeah, what happened probably was once the oxygen ran out in the box, she came to. So even with a deep sleep of the sickness, once her body was finished breathing up all the air, her last moments was probably terrifying and scraping and scratching, not realizing. But that was probably a day prior to them digging her up.
And
so she would have been dead no matter what.
And now in Jackson, it's actually a landmark. You can actually go there and it's actually used to be called it's now called Hillcrest Cemetery, and the family plot's still there, from what I'm reading.
Yes, it is. I've been there. It is. I know exactly where you're talking about.
And you can go there and pay your respects and whatnot. I bet you there's a big tourist attraction about it too.
That's a terrifying story. I could never do that.
Yeah, what it's interesting about in that time period, they actually, the Victorian times, they actually were developing. Is apparently that was a very common thing about burying people alive and thinking that they're dead. They buried them alive, so
that's why they thought them as zombies.
So they developed like different things they could develop. Like they have a tunnel that actually so they could shout through, or they could have air coming through, or they have little bells, And it's like, so like if someone's ringing the bell, that something means that they're alive, and like, oh shit.
All right. Now, game time.
Sure, why not? Oh, I thought it was Warhammer next.
Yeah.
Was it? Carry
I'll
on.
just get the slide up and ready.
Okay. Today we're going to continue down our path of going through the Primarchs. I know, a new concept. I think every single new Warhammer guy always goes through the Primarchs. Today we're going to go with the new one, the Wolf King himself, Leman Russ.
Oh yeah.
Leman of the Russ. Found on the death world of Fenris. He was raised by wolves when he first came out of his pod. Apparently, he actually for many years, he for many months or years, it doesn't really say, he was actually raised by a wolf mother. And now these are let's be perfectly,
They're
these are
dire wolves.
no, these are not dire wolves. These are like dire wolves, like on steroids.
They're the dire wolves of the dire wolves.
Right? Like giant wolves.
And they actually kept his brothers alive. His mother, she raised him, and he learned many hunting techniques from them. And he eventually meets humans by they killed his mother, and then he got brought to the king of the time, he named him Leman Russ. He then he learned about laughter, joyousness, and boisterous and all that from the people of Fenris. He became a king. He became the king. Then the emperor came, and he challenged the emperor challenged Leman Russ because he knew that he could not get Leman Russ's trust unless he beat him in contest. So he challenged Leman Russ to 3 contests. The first one was a drinking contest. Both of them drank everything in the hall and didn't even feel tipsy. The second one, an eating contest. They ate everything. So the emperor, being annoyed, he's saying, well, you're nothing more than a drunkard and a glutton. How dare you try to... And Leman Russ, being Leman Russ, he goes, well, I challenge you. And then he revealed himself as being the emperor and says, sure, and kicked his butt.
I bet he gave him a good fight.
No, he gave him a good fight, but he then pledged allegiance to the emperor. And what's interesting, out of all the Primarchs, he's the only one who did not waver in the slightest. He was steadfast throughout the entirety of the. He
was raised by wolves, dude. Honor amongst your pack.
He also then became. He stayed with the emperor for a while, and then he learned his ways. He then rejoined his legion, the Space Wolves. Woo! And he would then do many campaigns doing all this. He would then be dubbed the Emperor's Executioner. And one of the main name to fames is his sacking of Prospero, which was the home planet of Magnus the Red. And actually he was lied to by Horus because he wanted to bring Magnus into his fold, and he wanted to weaken the Space Wolves. Because Horus knew he could never turn Russ.
Oh, no, he was a purist.
What makes it fun is that he actually challenged the powered Horus and came very close to killing him with the Dionysius spear. With his spear. And after the Horus Heresy, because I'm not going to go through every single thing he's done.
No, that's later.
After the Horus Heresy, he actually would leave his legion and said, what did he say again? That he would return when when he was most needed. He would come back from life and death when it called the Wolf Time. And in fact, according to many rumors, he actually is the next Primarch to return to the fold. From what rumors I've heard years ago.
Oh, we'll find that out next week.
What's today? This June.
So, for games, I'll talk about some old before we jump into new while he's looking at new.
Yeah, fuck Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't care for that one. A game that I enjoyed, Mario Kart. Enjoyed it all the time. Another one that I enjoyed was
From what I've heard, they're gonna.
Prime.
It's one of the first games that's coming out for the new Switch.
like 24 people playing at once instead of 12. Or
Oh, that's
more.
what. That's
It's chaos.
Switch.
I can't wait. The only thing I don't like is the expense, paying for the games that they're making it. They're not. It's just not going to
Echo Shop Simulator.
Is that a new update coming for Smash Bros, or is that a new Smash Bros coming out?
I think it's a new Smash Bros too. Like as well, like another Smash Bros coming out, because that's going to be the big pull. Because the Mario Kart's going to pull some people. What's really going to get the pull is Smash Bros. Because that's when everybody's like, all right, I have to get the Switch 2 now. Why? Smash Bros, the new one's out, and there's people saying they're better than me. I have to get on there and kick their ass.
I have to prove. I have to prove myself. From what I've heard that's coming out soon, is an update for Warhammer 40K Darktide. They're adding a new character class for us to play called the Arbites. You get to be the judge of Warhammer 40K.
Oh, snap.
So from what I've seen from gameplay, you actually get a Cyber Mastiff with you, and you get a shotgun.
So you're like a judge, a jury, and executioner, kind of like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, the Arbites are basically they do have the like normal like police force. Think the Arbites is like the FBI, KGB, and like all those like government.
Still police enforcement in a sense.
They're enforcement, but they enforce the emperor's law, not the local law.
One under Inquisitor.
No, Inquisitor's above them because
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. One under Inquisitor.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like they're like right before Inquisitor, or close.
But they still have their restrictions too. But like a commissar still outranks them, for example.
A commissar is meant to change morale. He doesn't care who it is. If he has to shoot you, he has to shoot you to get morale up.
A commissar can shoot anybody they want.
Damn near. Like I love the game. I have the game when you're. That's the one thing that's really nice about Warhammer 40K when you're playing Dawn of War as the Imperial Guard. You have a commissar in your group. You guys lose your morale. You guys are freaking out. He executes one of the closest guys next to him. He's like, calls him a coward and everything, blows his head off. Everybody boosts up their attack. Their morale goes instantly, can't be broke for a little innate. boosts everybody. I mean, every team around him too, and it makes the enemies weaker. They're like, "Oh shit, you killed one of your own men to make you guys stronger. What's wrong with you?" And you just cut right through them for a minute. Like Imperial Guard are good, especially for a distance. They know how to get you with Basilisk, and it's this game over with from there. Once we figure out what your base is, they can just destroy your base from the shadows. You don't even know you're getting hit until it's too late.
And artillery, and of course, just all fun and
Manpower.
games. Orbital drop, and of course, orbital drop.
Mm-hmm. Their commander has it.
What
It's
else
fun.
is there coming out? I know that Xbox Pass is getting the Call of Duty World War II, the newer one, the more recent one, not Vanguard, the one before it. I personally didn't like it.
I wish they would just remaster the first 3 games they did, because those were the best.
Like Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Redo. Like, I loved Medal of Honor. I still have them. I have all the original ones on the original Xbox. Still play them to this day. Because my father-in-law was mentioning he always wanted to imagine playing and doing it. So he sat with me one day, waiting for my wife and my daughter and my other and stuff. And then he sat next to me. We played it. And he was just like, we got to storm the beach in Normandy and everything. And stop the nukes and take out all the Nazis. And he loved it.
The Indiana Jones and the Great Circle game.
Yeah, we're moving on to the next one.
Very well. So what video are we going to be watching?
I sent numerous ones to him, so did you. One I want to talk about is there's a part of one you can click on the Ben Shapiro one, look for that. There's a bombing of the Israel taking out the Islamists, like the Arabs, and their propaganda lying news machine. It was hilarious. Like if you're able to pull that one off in the political chat of our Discord, please.
It's funny and horrible at the same time.
It is. It is. Like, I don't condone the violence. I don't laugh at them directly. I laugh at the karma of them saying, "Oh, you can't hit us this, and this," because of our how we have it set. What?
You watch your camera, TJ. TJ.
It's in the Ben Shapiro one, and it's you move forward a bit, maybe like between 10 to 11 minutes, somewhere around there. You'll find it. Show a little building and a lady talking.
Trump to Iran, surrender or face consequences?
I think so. Double check. Pull this up. We'll talk. We'll discuss these things, how we feel about it, what's going on, why is this war happening?
Honestly, one is because it's because Iran in the most of the Middle East is pretty much devolved from what they were in it's because they've been in nothing but wars since the beginning of the 2000s. They've been in constant warfare from having to deal with religious nut jobs who think that the Quran is the only stable form of. Yeah, I've
read the Quran.
It's about 1 minute in.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, within a minute or so in.
And it's mostly because the country's being run by religious nut jobs. There's a good reason why America has a separation of church and state, because this is why.
And we have the Republican, we have the Democrat, but that's why we need a third party, proper and solid. That's why I'm talking about the Purple People Party, for the people, by the people, of the people. We, the people, need to finally have our strong foot in there to stand next to them and go, "Hey guys, we're here too. The actual working class, the actual people, the actual the lowest class of everybody and everything, the poor people and everything."
Tons on today's show.
Yeah.
It's just,
You got the video?
It's one of those things where, and it's also just like a good example are the Crusades. Is the crusade, and because the church before the crusade, before the bubonic plague happened, the church had a lot of power. Like they literally could point to a person.
I don't know where in the video you want me to look.
It's about 1 minute 20 seconds.
Let me double check. Yeah, it's the Ben Shapiro one, the first, the very top one when you first click on it.
It's at the 3 minute mark, and it's about 1 minute. About the 1 minute mark.
Yep, it's the 1 minute. It's around the 1 minute mark. Right at the 1 minute mark.
Back where I was
first video.
When the bubonic plague happened, it get a little bit of history. That's when it really started weakening, it losing its grip on because before the bubonic plague, the church could literally do whatever they want. They literally could point at somebody. Okay.
All right, so this is what we're talking about right here. This is the concept of the war, of her talking about, like, you know, trying to kill the Jews and stuff, and that they can't do anything, and this, and this. And here's Israel's response, showing that we are strategically hitting. Yep, see the missile? See the sky? Boom. She's like, get the hell out. Like, she survived, and so did a couple other people, but certain people that needed to go were gone, that they needed to hit. They hit the certain room they needed to hit, which they don't realize is they utilize areas that have, like, civilians purposely to use their shields. That's a problem. So the Jews have found another way around, being strategic and smart about it and hitting their power, their leaders, in certain ways. You notice they never attacked their gas and oil because
nobody wants that, because it would go up like a fireball.
Everybody would be screwed. Not just one of people. Everybody within that certain area that gets that oil, because that's one of the biggest in the world, except for America and technically Russia, but Russia's mostly is frozen, or they can't get to it because their machines are too cold. But there's a shift in the planet. It's actually getting warmer over there, and it's getting colder over here. Interesting, huh?
We can also talk about the I wouldn't say Trump, but definitely administration is arresting senators who are interfering with ICE agents. Like he actually wasn't actually interfering. What he was doing was he was just with the guy when he was getting arrested, and he was saying to be calm, don't. And then they objected with the fact that he was interfering. He was asking questions, and he's just like, "You can't arrest this guy. You need a warrant." And it's like, and then they arrested him.
They're because they actually did have a warrant for the guy. That's the thing. They actually had all the information, and it was more of he was obstructing, and how he was walking towards the lady was in an aggressive tone and had his fist clenched and everything. So in doing so, they were trying to disrupt. They actually let him go after and gave him no charges at the time. But they did give him a solid warning that you do not act like that during court times, or do not act hostile or move in those certain structures, because that's for anybody, even you or me or anybody. One of our friends in sense for a good story is how you're standing. And if a police officer is standing with you and you stand at a certain stance or such as me, I'm a martial artist. If I stand in such a jackknife stance, or in a martial arts throwing punch stance, or in a grapple stance in any manner, that is a form of engaging already, form of hostility in any way, or moving fast. They are allowed to react accordingly and detain you until they found out why you did that. So that he's being taught that, he's not above the law. They did let him go, and he didn't lose any. He didn't pay any fines or anything, at least from what I looked up. But if he does something again, he's screwed.
But the problem is that from what I've been listening to, is that how they are doing it, because the person in question who was in that courtroom, because this is actually a different guy. This is in New York. He actually was there for a legitimate hearing for immigration. They
Tag one
dismissed.
for you, Devontae, to pull up while we're talking.
It's the Brian Taylor Cohen one. It's the it's from 6:14 this morning. It says exclusive arrested you and New York City official shutdowns Trump's ICE.
Oh, one I just sent him one is the concept of difference between protesting peacefully, protesting accordingly, and rioting and obstructing justice, because they did get people that were supposed to go to jail out of jail that were actual murderers, like 8 people. It was, and these people were trying to make up stuff to lie to get them to try to stop. So there's a concept of fuck around and find out. I sent to Devro. He can check out the video real quickly. It's, you can just fast forward if you need to. Just first couple seconds of whatnot, it's going to show somebody getting, ran over.
Whoa, hold! What am I looking up? Because you guys are shouting many things at me.
All right, the one I tagged you in.
Oh,
You click on it. It is the one with JP.
It's the one with the guys with the ginger white beard, blue shirt.
Yeah, buff dude.
Video says you'll get run over.
Yeah, protesters get run over. LOL. Because the concept is they're not protesters anymore; they're rioters. If you are getting in the street and you're stopping traffic and flow of traffic, that is illegal. That is not protesting. It does not fall under the lines of protesting. You do not stop people from going to work. You do not stop the flow of traffic. You do not get in the police's way. Do not stop people from doing their jobs. You protest in a safe, peaceful manner, or you might get ran over. You jump in front of somebody's car, you will get ran over, because what happened years ago.
Here's the word from the
police
themselves.
Yep. Right here. He'll say it and tell it for you. A little louder.
Refusing to let the driver leave.
There you go.
You're most likely going to get run over.
Like this, right here. Ba-boom. Ba-boom.
Greatly predicted the fate of the protest.
So, like, that's, he even says it right there.
The No Kings protest?
The concept is that those No King things, which is funny for King James. I feel bad for the guy that's actually in Europe going, what the hell are you guys doing? Because the president is not a king, it's a separate thing.
Just so you know, probably don't play traffic. And we also
that's fine.
So what about this part then? This is the next section.
Have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so
you were so gonna get voted. You when you leave, nobody's gonna care about you.
That's fine for him, but the whole concept is a concept of understanding the law, because this is what happened in a few years back with some of the riots. People got murdered in their vehicles or pulled out of their vehicles and beaten to death over false pretenses of people just saying, "Oh, there's a racist," and it wasn't. Just some dude.
No, they were just The thing about riots is there's when a riot starts, it's like a wave.
And well, it's because how people act. When people get together, they're kind of like the whole concept of they start flowing with the reaction of one person that guides and leads it. So one person could be lighting it like an idiot, and everybody will follow suit. One person starts breaking windows, everybody starts following suit. One person starts rioting, catching things on fires. They do.
What I find most interesting is seeing those. When you're watching the rioters and they're in there grabbing gift cards, not activated gift cards off those shelves. I'm like, no, don't do that. If you're gonna grab valuable things, don't grab the gift cards, because those things could be tracked. Those things could be, you can't use them. They're just empty.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Or the shoe stores or anything else. They're stealing stuff, or phones. They stole from the phone stores, which these phone stores have an activation thing of theft. They're useless. The second you steal them, they go into a certain theft mode where there's nothing you can do.
Not to mention it basically just becomes a paperweight.
Well, it's the concept of the thing I'm talking about, the protest. The peaceful protest does not involve any kind of violence or aggression or anything else. You stand in a certain areas and you show your signs and you say your piece. That's it. No harming, no fouls, no screaming, no throwing shit, no harming people, no aggression, no jumping in traffic, none of that, or weapons. What they're doing is setting up for a riot, which has been showed. The No Kings thing was purposely set up in other ways too. People were being brung out riot gear from certain people and found out those were actually certain government officials on the Democratic Party side, and they freaked because they're like, "What's in the van? Why you got that stuff there? Well, you're not supposed to know. No, go away." And they show it. There's some videos about it and everything. They're talking about it. We can get into that though next week.
Well, we can get into that next time. Any final words before we end this?
Yeah, tune in on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Rolling to Die podcast. We're playing so Henry the Heartsmith. What are we, as our GM, what are we going to be doing this week?
This week is going to be a PvP. That's right, people, a player versus player. It's going to be a special event where all of our characters get to face off and have fun trying to murder fuck each other. That'll be our
I'm Going to Die.
on Rolling to Die, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Be there, be square.
And don't forget to tune in next week, same time, same place, here for the next episode of The Chaotic Minds. Once again, I'm Devontae Ewing, aka DJ Thunderbase, saying thank you.